Welcome to Mint. This is P.R. Sanjay here. We have with us national writer Dinesh Unnikrishnan, and we are today discussing a special story. It's been 2 years since ICICI Bank acquired Bank of Rajasthan, and this merger, this acquisition was special in many respects. The promoters of Bank of Rajasthan was facing several charges in running the bank, irregularities in running bank from SEBI as well as Reserve Bank of India. And after 2 years, we are revisiting the merger story, and we are trying to go through like what was the interesting takeaways from that merger. Thanks, Dinesh. Thanks for joining us. Now I just want, the first question would be like, how is this integration progressing? Could you take us there?
Thank you, Sanjay. Like you said, the merger was different in many respects. Bank of Rajasthan was in such a state that they had to merge with some other bank, as obviously they were facing serious charges from SEBI and RBI for a host of charges raised by both regulators. If we look at the integration process after 2 years, in terms of people integration and the system integration, the technical side, the integration process is almost over. But at the same time, the ICICI Bank, one of the stated objectives of ICICI Bank at the time of merger was to generate, CASA, the cheaper deposits, as well as fee income, increased fee income from the Bank of Rajasthan's 400 odd branches. Yes, they have succeeded in increasing the cheaper deposit proportion, but one must say that ICICI Bank is yet to succeed in leveraging that branch strength to generate fee income, which is yet to happen. But one can say that in many ways the merger has been successful.
Okay, technically a merger must be successful, but my question would be like, it's actually a merger between two different cultures, like the culture which is maintained, followed by Mr. Tayal's bank, and this new generation ICICI Bank are entirely different. So how do you see this marriage between two banks which have entirely different cultures?
Absolutely right. Like you said, Bank of Rajasthan, even though it was a private sector bank, the style of operations, the approach, the way they approach customers was nothing different from a public sector bank, a government-owned bank. On the other hand, ICICI was, the new generation, their aggressive ways to capture business. So obviously there was integration issues when ICICI acquired Bank of Rajasthan. Maybe that's the reason, around 900 odd employees who joined from Bank of Rajasthan post-merger in ICICI are no longer with the bank. They have quit the bank, and what we should understand is that is because of the increased amount of pressure. Their inability to adapt to the ICICI Bank culture, they were asked to go out and garner business which they were not familiar in Bank of Rajasthan. Okay. Because of this work pressure, some 900 odd employees have left within these 2 years after the merger has happened.
Dinesh, you've been continuously tracking the developments in the banking industry, and could you tell us, like, with this kind of a context of marriage between two different cultures, and technically you are this merger was successful but not in full swing. So do you think that in this context, this landscape, do you think more such mergers will happen? Could you take us through that?
Sanjay, one thing I must add is that, though there are integration issues because of this different work culture, ICICI is making its best efforts, to train those staff. Okay. By giving them, even to the sub-staff level, training to handle, system, their new methods to aggressively capture business going out. So the training is being given, and a good number of employees, if you go by what ICICI Bank officials say, have been able to adapt to the new work style. So it's a bit early to say whether the merger in that respect will be successful or not. ICICI is still only 2 years. Okay. It takes at least 5 to 7 years after a merger for it to completely generate results. Now, if you ask me, there have not been many mergers in Indian banking sector, especially in the private space. Okay. We saw HDFC Bank Centurion Bank merger, that was in 2008, and ICICI Bank itself has done 2 mergers in the past. one with Bank of Madura and one with Sangli Bank.
Okay.
So if we go by the expert opinion, most of these mergers have been successful because of two reasons. One, the primary aim of a merger, when a private sector bank goes out in the market and look for a potential target, is to acquire a large number of branches.
True.
Which otherwise takes many years for them to get approval from RBI and generate business from that. So most of these mergers have given the acquirers a lot of branches at one go.
Okay.
And the second part is that they will also get that savings deposit portion, which is very critical for a bank.
True.
Now, second type of merger is when a bank is in distress.
True.
Among cooperative banks, we have seen many. Even among commercial banks, there have been so many cases. Then the Reserve Bank comes into the picture and put pressure for merger for the sake of financial system. So merger, we will see again whenever as the banking system grows, as more business come in, new players come in, consolidation is necessary, and larger players will look for those weaker ones who are not so good at adapting to the changing market environment. We will see more mergers.
Thank you so much, Dinesh. So, irrespective of whether consolidation take place in the industry or not, this particular acquisition by ICICI Bank was interesting case study for many, many universities in coming days. And to understand the nuances of this merger in its full context, please log into www.livewin.com. Thank you.